Let's just discuss $85 million cap hit. Imagine taking $85 million, putting a bunch of gasoline on it, and then setting it ablaze. Because that's just what the Denver Broncos did. They traded for Russell Wilson. They signed him to a contract, and he didn't play a single down of football under that $200+ million contract. Is it one of the worst trades in NFL history? Probably. It's not exactly Herschel Walker, but at least Herschel Walker didn't get $140 million guaranteed. But this isn't a Denver Broncos channel, and this isn't a financial mogul channel. This is a channel about the Las Vegas Raiders. And, oops, I kicked the camera. There needs to be a discussion. Every avenue should be looked at. Every stone should be turned. Every stone, what's the thing? Wait, hold on. No stone should be unturned. Leave no stone untoned. What? And I lie here in my bed and I think about, should the Raiders sign Kirk Cousins? I made a video on that. Should we go with AOC? Michael Penix trade up for Jaden Daniels. And then Russell Wilson gets cut, which is a thing that we thought would happen. But when it happened, you're like, oh my God, it actually happened. My question to the nation, and it is a nation, is this. What is the real downside to signing this guy for the league minimum? If he says to Antonio Pierce or to any coach that he wants to play for, any team, I will compete for the starting job for the league minimum. What is the downside of signing him to a $2.5 million contract? Because I'll tell you what, if we end up cutting him, it ain't 85 mil, it's 2.5. The positives are this. There's no risk involved, literally no risk. He could end up being the third string vet quarterback, the emergency quarterback you carry to teach Aiden O'Connell and whoever we draft how to, be a good quarterback in the National Football League. And I know people say he gets a little weird, right? He's a little eccentric. He's a little unnatural in terms of personality. But Antonio Pierce has been able to wrangle different personalities like Jack Jones and like Josh Jacobs and Devontae and AOC and make it into one cohesive island of misfit toys that actually works. And if Russell Wilson steps out of line, or if he doesn't come into the season in shape, or if he doesn't play well, Antonio Pierce will cut his ass. So I ask you this. Literally, what is the downside to signing Russell Wilson? The upside is, he played okay last year. They didn't win a lot of games. They won one less than us. They couldn't beat us. He got benched, but he wasn't terrible. He was fine. And maybe with fine, we might have made the playoffs. I mean, AOC was fine. I don't know who was better last year, AOC or Russ. But Russ also didn't have Devontae Adams to throw to or Josh Jacobs to hand the ball to. Maybe with better weapons, he could have a resurrection of his career, which I think is a $2.5 million risk worth taking. I don't know why you at least wouldn't bring him in and talk to him. Tell him you don't have the starting job. You have a chance to compete, and we can cut you before the preseason starts. But if he comes in and he gives it his all and he's underweight and he runs around like Russ does and he buys into Luke Getsy and he's throwing to Devontae and Jacoby and Trey Tucker and Adunze maybe if we draft him, I don't see the downside. That is my question with all of you out there. Is there a true blue downside that I'm missing? Could he destroy the locker room? Like, no, he can't, because they would cut him before he even got the chance. It doesn't stop us from trading up to draft a rookie. It doesn't stop us from signing any other free agents we want to, unless we want to go after Kirk Cousins. So really, what's the negative? Really, what's the negative? Speaking of free agency, we'll get into who I think we should get, who we should, look at, blah, 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 in some other video. But I want to talk about Josh Jacobs, just for a second. He's going to be a free agent. We didn't have franchise tag him. I'm happy we didn't tag him because I'd rather just sign him to a real deal. And hopefully it's one of those 2 or 3 year deals. Half of it's guaranteed. And then he resets himself when he's 30 years old and blah, blah, blah. My question to you is this. Is he worth any of the money that we're going to give him? Or should we go with Zamir White and sign like an A.J. Dillon for like $5 million? The downside to re-signing Josh Jacobs is giving him a couple of mil, a decent amount of money, and he doesn't stay healthy. The 1 year he was healthy, he was the best running back in the league. Now, a part of him not playing last season toward the end is probably because he wanted to preserve himself. I heard every week he was trying, but AP also said, this is a business, and they got to make sure that they're 100% healthy before they play. And I think if we made the playoffs, or if we needed to win the last game to get in, he would have played. So my question to you guys is this: should we re-sign Josh Jacobs? I think yes. Telesco said we want to make a habit of signing the guys that we want to stay with the Raiders. We don't want to have an influx of new people coming in and out all the time. There's obviously pieces that we have to get from other teams. But if you have a good player who's a free agent and you pay him well and you give him a decent contract, that's going to show other free agents that we keep our own and we take care of our own. We don't trade people away. We don't let people walk or franchise tag people. We let them test the market, and then they come back to us, and we give them a fair offer. And I think, to me, that's more important than saving some money, getting A.J. Dillon, and going with A.J. Dillon and Zamir White in case Zamir White isn't the guy, because I think he could be, but, that was toward the end of last season. It wasn't consistent. Let's see if he can do it again next season. And Antonio Pierce has already been talking like he is going to keep Josh Jacobs, him and Telesco, because he was talking about Zamir White and Josh Jacobs. What a combo that could be, right? I think it's important for Telesco to emphasize and to show right off the bat that we take care of our own guys, which is why I think we're going to re-sign a lot of guys that we have impending free agents that we're going to need to bring back, blah, blah, blah. And I think Josh Jacobs is a hot commodity. I mean, Barkley's out there too, which is insane. But Josh Jacobs is going to be a guy that we should bring back. What say you? Comment below. Leave likes. Leave comments. Russell Wilson, what's the negative? Am I missing something? I think it's an absolute low risk, high reward. Why not do it? Check out the Patreon. Link is in the description below. Patreon.com/ALLaBorde Raiders. If you don't know what it is, you pay a small fee a month to get bonus content, videos early, ad-free stuff. Join a Madden subscriber league. Join the Discord. It's all gravy, baby. And if you can't do that and you think, oh, I wish I could, but I can't, I want to support this guy, you've clicked on the video, you've hopefully liked it, and you've commented and you subscribed, and that's more than I can ever ask of you, the lovely viewer. Please be sure to subscribe. It is free after all, no charge to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.